All right, good morning, guys. It is Thursday, June 2nd, and I am getting ready to do something you've never seen in 400 videos on this channel. And after today, we'll never ever see it again. So what is happening? All right. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. So it's about 7 a.m. and I am going to work. Now, you guys have never seen me go to work in all the time I've had this channel, because I've never talked about my work. And why have I not talked about my work? Well, there's a couple reasons, and mostly it's because it doesn't have much to do with the car channel, but in a way it actually is responsible for this car channel. So before I tell you what I do, and I'll only be doing it for about 24 more hours, and then after that I will no longer be doing this for a living, for a profession. My choice, kind of my choice, kind of society's choice on this. I'm choosing to give it up and to end my certifications, but it's only because of the way the world is right now. It has nothing to do, I mean, I could do this the rest of my life and there'd be no issues or anything with it, and I may go back and do it again one day, but I am on my way to work. And how it basically, what I do for a living is what started this channel. So back in the fall of 2020, right before COVID came out, I was tasked by my employers to come up with a way to teach audiovisual stuff. Now, you guys know my background. I went to film school. I've worked in television. I've worked in movies. I've worked in the music entertainment business for most of my adult life when I wasn't flying in the military. And so what I do now, my employers had asked if I could come up with a way to teach audiovisual stuff. And so I had sat down over Christmas of 2020 and came up with this whole 45-day training on how to put YouTube together, from very basic, what is YouTube, all the way to having a channel. And then I did that, and in order to demonstrate it, I started a car channel, because April had said, hey, you like cars, why don't you start a car channel? Now, April has her own channel, and she's had her channel for years. It's very specific, and we've talked about it before. So I put this all together, and then I brought it back, and this is where even though I have 15 years of working in the industry, well, more than 15 actually, since 91, so let's say, what is that, 91, 2001, 2011, 2020, actually, wow, 19, I have 30 years of doing this, among other things. But 30 years of working in the audiovisual, television, video, film world, that where I work said I wasn't qualified to do it. So what do I do for a living? Well, let me tell you. All right, guys. This is the first package from the company spread shirt. I ordered this the day we opened the store, and I will show you. All right, let me show you what it is. All right, this is a fleece hoodie. Nice. It's a nice fleece hoodie for me for the power tour. So a hoodie like this, it's a lightweight hoodie. It's not heavy duty, but it is fleece. It feels fleecy. And this is like 30 bucks. And I am definitely happy with it. There you go. Awesome. Yay. Now back to the channel. All right, guys. So what do I do for a living? Well, let's see. It has to do with your kids. It has to do with all kinds of stuff. So I am a middle school science teacher. And I've been a middle school science teacher for the last 3 years. Prior to that, I had done some other things, but I've also taught college. I've taught a course in writing fiction and creative writing in college. Prior to that, I've also taught middle school debate / creative writing. So I did that as well. And I also had a social studies, social science certification. But 3 years ago, I was asked if I could teach science, and I'm like, well, I don't know. So I had to go and actually study, pass the test, because there is a test here in Florida for science teachers. So I studied, I passed the test, got certified to teach science, and that's what I've been doing down here in Florida for the last couple of years. Now, I taught at one school prior to this, and that was the school, and it was what's called the ALC. It's an alternative learning center, and I was there for 2 years teaching middle school to all the kids that you see on the news. All the kids that get in trouble, that get kicked out of their school, would come there, and we would have to teach them the basics. And so I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science, and I also taught how to be a good human being, or tried. And I did that for 2 years. And my second, and when I was there, actually the first year I was there, the vice principal at the time came to me and said, hey, listen, we have all this audio visual equipment, and we don't know what to do with it because we don't have anything way to use it. We don't know anybody knows how to use it. So that fall, they asked if I would put together a program that we could let the kids learn how to do audiovisual, maybe, you know, in a helpful way or whatever, positive classroom. And since the kids were sent to us from their schools for 45 days usually, some stay a lot longer, but 45 days was what they would normally come. Then I put together this 45-day thing where we would go over what is YouTube, all the way through how to edit, shoot, come up with storylines, come up with channels, all that stuff. And when I came back after Christmas, I was told that because I didn't go, I went to college for film. I went to film school. And then I worked in the movies and Warner Brothers and all that. You guys know that. But because I didn't go to school to be a teacher, I didn't have an education degree in film, which I didn't even know existed, honestly. But because my education degree wasn't in film, then I wasn't allowed to teach it from K through 12 in Florida. So it doesn't matter that I did it for 28 years professionally at the highest levels. It just meant that because I didn't go to school when I was 19 to be a teacher of it, and I guess that's where the whole thing that says teachers teach and everybody else, if you can't do, you teach, and if you do, you do. But anyway, so I was told I couldn't teach it, but I had done all this work to get it together. So December 28th of 2020 is when we started this channel, and it just took off, and it's done very well. Now, the other thing is, the reason I don't talk about it is when you're a teacher, at least in Florida, or at least the way I read it, there are, you know, you have, and you should, and there should be, like, ethics that you should have. And I'll be honest with you, I've watched a lot of ethics and teachers, especially recently, just out the window. But one of the things is you shouldn't make money off your students. And so, as much as I would love to have shared my channel and give them the name and have all the kids subscribe and stuff, which, you know, would have been great as far as for numbers, ethically, I'm not going to make money off my kids. And see, here's the other thing. If I say I told the kids, hey, this is my channel, come watch it. Well, then say one of those kids gets straight A's that subscribes. And they tell everybody, oh, I subscribed to Mr. Dever, suddenly my grades got better. Now, it could have been because of the work they did or whatever, but because it was their grades that got better, and maybe some kid who has no interest in cars and never watched my channel, their grades didn't improve or maybe went down. Well, the next thing you know, I'm going to be called up to somebody somewhere in the school board and be told, are you giving kids grades because they're subscribing? And then you're making money off the subscriptions, because technically, even though right now with 11,000 subscribers and 2 million views, I have no idea if a child is watching this, because they're not supposed to be, because it's not made for kids. I mean, I specifically not made it for kids, so that way, you know, I tell the kids, well, I make something, it's family friendly, but no, it's not made for you guys. Now, if they found it on their own, whatever. But, and I know a couple of them have, because I've had comments come in, say, oh, you're my teacher, and I delete those comments. And I'll tell the kids at school, listen, you know, this is a secondary thing that I do, and I can't acknowledge you right now. Now, so what's going on now? Why am I acknowledging it now? Why am I telling you guys now? Well, a couple of reasons. One, I just wanted to explain why, like just now, this in May, I don't tend to put up a lot of videos. It's because right now is the end of the school year, grades are due, all the other stuff is going on. You guys know, if you've ever had kids or if you've been a kid, you know that May is really busy. I mean, in the last 2 weeks of our school, we've had 2 kids who threatened the school, 2 different kids at 2 different times threatened our school. We've had some kind of a gas leak or some kind of leak in our school that we had to be evacuated. We also had graduations, you have grades due, you have the last dance, you have all this stuff, cleaning up your room, getting everything ready for summer. And so it's really takes a back seat this last week, and I do apologize for that. Also, if you now kind of realize that the reason that somewhere in the middle of March, all of a sudden you see a ton of videos, around Christmas and a ton of videos in the summertime, was because I was off all summer. So I could go travel around in the summer, I could travel around on spring break, I could travel around on vacation. So whenever there was a school vacation, I would get in a truck and go and drive 6,000 or 7,000 miles all around the country or whatever, and spend the whole time on the road, then come back and edit what we've shot and put it up. So that is that part of it. So that might explain a little bit what's going on. Now, the other thing is the reason I'm giving this up. Like I just said, we've had a couple threats to our schools, including one student that was one of my students, would have been in my classroom had he carried through his threat, and he was arrested. We've had other kids arrested. I'm watching kids that our school district hasn't failed, kids that really, and I'm not somebody for failure, believe me. I was not the best student when I was in middle school or high school. And Mr. Harm, if you're still around at Central Bucks East High School, which I don't think you are, it's been 35 years, but I pretty much spent my lunchtime every day in the chair outside of our vice principal's office, and I was involved in food fights and fights and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I had my fun in school, and I think it's probably why I understood how a lot of these kids do, and I try to talk to them and get them to do their work and try to figure out that, you know, you do have to graduate, especially now, because in the 80s you didn't even have to go to college back then. But now, I mean, college is kind of like having graduating middle school. Anyway, so I've witnessed a lot of stuff, and I also, being ex-military, having certain political views, having some other things, I just don't really fit in with teachers. And it was kind of mutual on this. You know, I thought my job was teaching science, and that turns anymore into about 10% of your job is teaching science. The rest of the time is dealing with all the political correctness and the reports and all this other stuff that they want you to do. And honestly, I'm not going to do this. And I actually had a discussion with an English teacher yesterday that I teach with until tomorrow. And I said, you know, you got kids that are using different things and using English wrong, and half of them can't read. I don't want to say none, but half can't read. And they're just passing them. I mean, we're not even allowed to fail them. And so there's a lot of stuff, and I could go into that. Maybe I will down the road on something, but not today. But the reason I'm leaving is simply because, you know, it's not a fit. It used to be a fit, but the way that the world has changed and chosen sides and stuff, it's not, I'm not comfortable doing it, and I'm not going to do it. So tomorrow is our last day on payroll. So June 3rd is my last day, and today I'm heading to school, and this is the last day for kids. So that is what I've been doing every day. And I just kind of wanted to share with you guys that going forward, the channel's been pretty successful. And so now I'll be able to do it full time. And also I'll be doing a lot of consulting. So we have JYBF Consulting that we're going to kick off, and that's going to small businesses and such, and talking to them about how to get set up and how to put a channel together and all this stuff. And so we're going to do some of that. Now I may get another position when I get up to Gainesville, but at this point I'm giving up the teaching. And it just sounds weird. It's just because that's just, and if you're a teacher, you know, God bless you, I can't, but it's just, it's not my cup of tea anymore. And I just feel like no matter what we do, the kids know they're going to fail. The kids know they aren't, or I'm sorry, the kids know they're not going to fail. The kids have been told that all they have to do is show up. Since this COVID stuff started, which was really when I became a science teacher, like 2.5 years ago, whatever it's been, is the kids were just told, show up and say hi and you'll pass. At least they have down here. And even though we've been in school in person every day, while a lot of states haven't, but here we have, and I showed up every day, the fact that the kids won't do the work because they know they won't. They know they don't have to. And if you try to get them to work, then there's some counselor or some administrator that tells you, well, you can't expect them to do the work. So the fact is that the school system in itself has such low expectations for these kids that we're headed into a lot of trouble. And I almost kind of feel bad that I you know, to the parents, because I don't know what you're going to do. Plus these kids, their social interactions right now is just nuts. They all wear masks. They don't even know what each other looks like without a mask. They don't know how to do anything together. It's just very strange. So I'm giving it up, but that's what I've been doing. And so here's the way you can help me if you want, is just subscribe and keep watching the videos. And I apologize that we haven't had some videos up about cars this week, but we've got some things coming up. We've got the Hot Rod Power Tour coming up, so we're getting ready for that, making all those arrangements and doing everything. Also, as you know, we're moving. So while we're on, well, actually it's not even we now, while April stays back and organizes movers and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to be on the power tour. I have either my brother might come with me. I got friends that want to come with me. So while I'm doing the power tour, the movers will be moving all our stuff if they haven't already done it. I don't know the time frame. We're almost packed. So the movers are going to be having everything moved up to North Florida. They may, I think actually they leave before I do, so I think I'll be in an empty apartment or condo, whatever you want to call it, for the last day before I leave. And then when I come back, I'll be coming back to a new place in North Florida. So that's kind of weird, but we just thought that's the best way to do it. And April can't go because of some commitment she has, so she won't be coming with us on the ride. She wanted to. And so that's it, guys. That's the big news that I have. I don't know if it's big news to you. It's big news to me. But I wanted to be and tell you guys what's going on and why a lot of things have happened over the years that always people have questioned. And now I can welcome any student that I had to the channel, and I hope they subscribe. I still haven't told them the name of the channel because ethically I didn't want to take advantage of my position to do that. But if you are watching this, I would ask that you subscribe, because subscribing, maybe put a comment down. What do you, I mean, I don't know, ethically, do you think that that is something that I did it the right way? Because not telling the kids, because a lot of kids were interested and knew I did YouTube, but they didn't know what channel, and they always were asking. So is that something you would do, or did I do it the right way? I don't know, but I would appreciate any comments, guidance, your thoughts below in the comments. And if you wouldn't mind just subscribing, it doesn't cost anything. It's kind of like, you know, friending somebody on Facebook, so it's free, and it does help me a lot. And there now, because I'm planning on putting about 10,000 miles on this truck between the Hot Rod Power Tour, maybe going down Route 66, definitely going up to a whole bunch of stuff in the northeast of the United States. The next 2 months you are going to see a ton of content, and then it will continue forever. That's the plan. So anyway, thank you guys, and have a great day. Please subscribe, and really looking forward to any thoughts. Did I do this the right way? I don't know. I think so, but I don't know. It was an ethical choice, and I just thought ethically I didn't want to, you know, deal with that. But that's what's going on. And so some car videos will be coming up, and that's why things are the way they are. So look forward to talking to you, look forward to reading your comments, and have a great day. Bye. All right, so this is my school. This is where I work. So this is where I work. This is my school. Where it says merchandise store right here, merchandise store link, you will see it says https:/junkyards-barn-finds, and you click on that, and it's going to take you here. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.